All right. Stop talking. Just stop talking. Yeah, I sound like a boyfriend that's in a fight with his girl and telling her to stop talking. But that's how I feel about the Memphis Grizzlies. And I feel like this is not a popular take. A lot of people love the Memphis Grizzlies. And I want to start this with the fact that I also really like the Memphis Grizzlies. I think it's an awesome, fun team. Jaren Jackson's awesome to watch. John Morant's awesome. Dillon Brooks, Bane, a lot of their extra pieces. They're a fun, really good up-and-coming basketball team. But the talk has become too much. And not the talk of the media or not the talk of them potentially being really good. It's internally with them talking about dynasties and we can't wait to play the Warriors. And, you know, they asked Dillon Brooks, are they bummed that Curry's not playing? And he's like, yeah, but I have something to prove to Klay Thompson. And, you know, Klay Thompson thought it was funny, too. He kind of looked down on Dillon Brooks yesterday, stuck his tongue out at him a little bit after hitting a shot. And after the game was like, you need to stop talking about dynasties. You don't know how hard this is. You've never won anything. Stop talking about dynasties. And I think it's true. Now, this is going to be a quick rant. You know, it's the holidays. It's the day after Christmas. I still got some family things to do. But I wanted to just come on and talk about it because it was a big part of the NBA yesterday. And I think it was a big moment. If you like me, if you like basketball videos, anything means the world, any support. So please like and subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 likes on this video. I'm trying to get to 6,000 subscribers soon, so I'd appreciate anything. But this Memphis Grizzlies team, man, they're so good, but yet they're somewhat obnoxious. And I know that I feel like they have a diehard fan base, so I feel like if this comes across Memphis Grizzlies Twitter or Memphis Grizzlies YouTube, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this. And I don't mean this in a way that I don't think this team is going to be good in the future. I'm a very, very realistic fan when it comes to sports. My teams are the Seahawks, the Mariners. Seattle doesn't really have a basketball team, so I follow who I feel like following. Right now it's the Phoenix Suns because I'm in Phoenix. But I'm realistic. When a team's talking too much or when a team's not playing well or when a team is above or below expectations, I try to assess it correctly. And with this Grizzlies team, I think it's pretty clear that right now their talk, the way they talk, not the talk of the media, their talk is not necessarily right. Like, they're not there yet. Now, they lost to the Warriors on Christmas Day, and there's a lot of factors for that, obviously. I mean, it was the Memphis Grizzlies' first ever, I believe, Christmas Day game. It's Christmas Day, maybe a family traveling with you. You're on the road against the defending champs. John Morant's wearing his signature shoe. He's only like the 18th Nike player ever to have a signature shoe. He's debuting his shoes. You might have family in town. You might be on FaceTime all day. There's a lot of distractions. Like I said, it might be your first Memphis Grizzlies playoff game, this young team, hype. So there's a lot of factors. So I'm not here, first and foremost, to say that loss to the Warriors is a big deal. But I think it humbled them. And I think it should humble them, to say the least. Because this team is, you know, a team that I think is going to be very successful moving forward in the future. I love when the Grizzlies are good, the grit and grind era, and it's a cool team to be good. They have the best probably throwback jerseys ever when they were in Vancouver with the giant grizzly bear. But they just need to learn to go through the motions. You're talking like you're an NBA championship team, talking about dynasties and all these different things. Do you remember when the Warriors were building their dynasty? Yeah, Steph Curry gets a little cocky sometimes, but he was the scrawny, buzz-cut Steph Curry with skinny arms, and they lost to the Clippers. I think it was they lost to like Chris Paul and Blake Griffin. You know, they weren't talking that talk. They were just playing basketball. Draymond's always been a talker, but even him, I feel like he talked less than this Grizzlies team. So I just feel like it was time for them to be humbled a little bit. I think that's what Christmas Day did. Now, I think it's good they lost Christmas Day. Because that whole John Morant thing that, who you want to go through, and he said, I want to go through the Boston Celtics. And like, what about the West? And he said, I'm not worried about the West. That was probably the worst thing he could say. And I like John Morant. So once again, don't sit here and be like, oh, John Morant hater. But as of right now in his career, he's, to me, the Russell Westbrook, Derrick Rose type. Now, is that a good thing? Yes. For the Memphis Grizzlies, they might get their first MVP in franchise history. That's what Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook were. They're MVPs, most valuable players of the league, and you know their stats go crazy, and the organization gets really good, and you sell jerseys and ticket sales and merchandise and shoe deals. But the one thing those two guys have in common, Derrick Rose might be because of injury, but they play the same way. is they didn't win championships, and neither did Westbrook. So I just don't want Ja Morant to be Derrick Rose and Russell Westbrook. I want him to be Ja Morant, the NBA champion. But right now, there's a lot of teams I would take over the Grizzlies in the 7-game series. I would take the Phoenix Suns, the Denver Nuggets. I might even take the Pelicans, the Clippers, the Warriors. There's a good handful of teams. Probably the Mavs, because if you put Luka versus Ja in a 7-game series, give me Luka. They're in the 7th, 8th best team range when it comes to a 7-game series. Now, I don't give a crap if you're top 5 in the standings. No one cares. It's 2022, about to be 2023. We know that stuff doesn't matter in the regular season. So Grizzlies, humbled, but I expect really big things for them the rest of the year, because I think that was an important loss for them to be handed. And let's see if they can continue to get better and potentially be a team that wins an NBA championship in the near future. I'm Sammy on Tap. Much love. And Ja Morant, stop talking, man. Come on.